Welcome to this model. This is public finance. In this model, we would learn to appreciate why our government intervenes in economic exchanges, even when market interactions appear to allocate productive resources more efficiently. This is the first unit of this model, where we'll be looking at the introduction to public finance. The first session under this unit is to look at the overview of public finance. By the end of this session, we should be able to explain the meaning of public finance. We should also be able to explain some of the reasons why we study public finance. And finally, we should be able to explain the relationship between business finance and public finance. The question then is, what is public finance? Public finance, also known as public economics or public financial management, deals with how government raises revenue and uses these revenues on expenditure. The main source of government revenue in Ghana is through taxation. It may either be direct or indirect. There are other sources of government revenue such as borrowings and donations from external parties. Government then uses these revenues to construct roads, hospitals, and schools. Also uses these revenues to acquire goods and services for the citizens, and also use these revenues to compensate its staff in the public sector. Our main focus in this course will be to analyze the role of government in resource allocation. Now, let's consider some of the reasons for us to study public finance. The study of public finance helps us understand government's role in the provision of essential services such as electricity, security, and water. These services, if provided by a private provider, may be expensive for the ordinary citizen to patronize. The study of public finance also helps us understand government's role in regulatory activities. Some activities in the economy need strict regulatory policies that only the government can provide. The study of public finance also helps us to know how important it is for us to understand the nature and the size of the government in most economies. In Ghana, we are able to measure the performance of government using some indicators such as GDP and also some other factors. Public finance is also an avenue for government to reduce wealth inequalities in the country. If you're able to understand public finance and use its tools appropriately, we should be able to help policymakers reduce the inequalities that exist in our economy. The study of public finance also helps us to appreciate government debt position and how that influences the direction of the economy. If the government owes too much, how will the economy perform? And if we are able to settle most of our debt, how will we also perform? Let's consider some relationships between public finance and business finance. Business finance is a field of finance that deals with how business generates revenue and then use these revenues in their projects in order to maximize the wealth of their owners. This is very similar to the objective of public finance, as public finance also seeks to improve the standard of living of the citizens. There are some differences between public finance and business finance. In public finance, the main source of revenue is through taxation, either direct or indirect taxation. Whilst in the business setting, the main source of funds is through equity instruments or debt instruments like bonds and loans. Another difference between public finance and business finance is the responsibility of managers. Managers in business organizations are solely responsible to their shareholders and some other external stakeholders. But in the public finance or the public sector, managers are responsible for the entire citizens, including the businesses who hold responsibility to their shareholders and some selected few other stakeholders. This is the end of our overview of public finance. Take some few minutes to consider the meaning of public finance, the need to study public finance, and the relationship between business finance and public finance. Thank you.